Yo, what's up nerds? Today we're going to be looking at my top 10 best Roblox war games of 2024. And I just want to say that this is based on my personal opinion, so please don't be mean to me. And without further ado, let's just start this thing. Now for the first game, we're going to start off with Bleeding Blades. Now this game is one of the newer games on this list, but not the newest. Bleeding Blades is a first and third person sword fighting game, which basically means that you shove a pike or a sword up someone's ass, or if you just want to shoot them with a bow, whichever you prefer. There are many different game modes in this game, such as sieging a castle or just killing everyone before they kill you. And there are also many different classes in this game. You can become a crossbowman or a knight, or you can just go horseback riding, except you're in Roblox. In different maps, there are going to be different types of classes. Like for example, in the Agincourt map, you can go and ride a horse. But in the Thermopylae map, you can also become Leonidas. And also in the Ukraine. Like I said, it's been a while since I started playing this, and I keep coming back to this game with my friends because it's really fun to play, especially when you can form epic shield walls and just overall do absolutely stupid stuff. And to be honest, I'll give this game a very nice out of 10. Now the next game may come off as a surprise to most of you, but the next game has to be DDay. And I know what you guys are probably saying. Like, you're probably saying, Pickle Knight, why DDay? DDay is such an old concept of a game. And you guys are probably right. Like, DDay games have already been on the Roblox platform since I joined the game itself. But there's something that this game possesses that no other game on this list will ever have. And that is having a player base of mostly children with less than 2 brain cells inside of them. Which basically means that if you're having a very bad day, then just hop into this game and start destroying some children and make them cry in game chat. And for those of you who have been living under a rock, this game is basically based on the World War II D-Day landings, which is a pretty historical event, but enough of that history lesson. So here's how the game works, alright? So basically, you spawn on your point and you have to capture every single point that the enemy has. So that's pretty much it. It's either that or you defend your points from the enemies trying to capture. Now, similarly to every single game in this list, there are many classes to choose from. My personal favorite is the Assault class because you can just go running around and destroying people with it, and you're pretty fast as well. I like this game a lot. I come back to it every now and then as well. My friends say it's pretty boring, but for me it's very, very fun. Anyways, everything is fun as long as you're destroying some random raging kid in a Roblox game, so I'll give this game a very good 9 out of 10. Now the next game is one of my favorite games on this list, and it's also pretty new, and that game is Centaura. That's right, the land of little dark age edits and PTSD. Centaura is basically the best war game when it comes to fictional factions in Roblox. And can I just say that the lore itself is pretty fucking deep, I'm not gonna lie. Participate in the battles that are chronologically arranged in the Centaura lore, and then get blown up. This game basically tickles your pickle, which basically means it keeps you on edge the whole entire time, which is pretty cool. You can become an artilleryman, or a rifleman, or a shotgunner, or a machine gunner. And did I mention you can turn people into human barbecue in this game? And if you're a fat ass, you could just sit down and start blowing people up using a mortar. This game's only been out for 1 year and it already has more animations than Roblox ever had in their advertisement campaigns. And all of these reasons lead me to rating this game an I Miss My Family out of 10. This next game is for the people who sexually transfigure themselves into Napoleon every 3 AM in the morning, and that game is Conquest. I'm sure that some of you nerds who are watching this video is also very fond of controlling small and significant units in a strategy game. Then I think this game is for you, because to be honest, if you're broke and you can't afford any other game, then this game is probably perfect. You can also play with your friends here to link up your armies better. You can also play different game modes here like King of the Hill, Conquest, and the classic kill all your fucking enemies before they kill you. You can also make your own army based on how you want to play the game. But you need to remember, if you have artillery units, then you need to take good care of them, because losing them all in one cavalry charge is not a fun feeling. Overall, this game's a pretty good choice to pass the time, or if you just want to make kids rage doing cavalry charges over and over again to their artillery units. So because of that, I'm gonna give this game a there's nothing we can do out of 10. Now the next game that we're going to be looking at is going to be older than some of you, but that doesn't mean that it sucks and it's outdated. No, this game is Blood and Iron. Blood and Iron was created in early 2009, and it's a Napoleonic war game. It's also older than most of the Skibidi toilet enjoyers. Despite its old age, it still has a relatively large player base. And by large player base, I mean it has more active players than DDay and Conquest has combined. In this game, you participate in historical battles that took place in the Napoleonic Wars. So go pick your map, pick your class, and pick your faction, and go kill some motherfuckers. I also want to mention the fact that this game has very unique classes, as you can ride horses, you can also operate an artillery, and become Bob the Builder at the same time. I am not joking. Out of all the games on this list, this is the one that I've been playing the most, and also the game that I've been playing for the longest time. I also suggest you play with your friends, as it is really fun to play with a huge group of people. In the end, I'm gonna have to give Blood and Iron a full 10 out of 10 score. I also want to follow up the fact that you can actually play music in this game. Next up, we have Centaura's worst nightmare, Horizon Blue 1919. It was only created about a few months ago, and it's already got the player base equivalent to Centaura's. And the mechanics of the game are pretty easy to understand. Basically, at the start of the game, the Germans have to attack the French in a given time, and if they don't defeat them, then the French go on the offensive. If they defeat the French, then they keep going on the offensive, until of course they win the game. It's pretty easy. You can also grind more weapons in the game. You basically get better weapons the more you rank up. Like on the German side, when you reach a certain rank, you get a submachine gun. And when you reach the same rank, you get nothing from the French side, cause who the fuck cares about the French, am I right? The game's super well made despite only being alive for the past 2 months, I think. It's either 2 months or 3 months. Yeah, it's pretty good. So because of that, I'll have to give it a very cool out of 10. Alright, this game's pretty fire. And by fire, I meant Fireteam. Yeah, you tactical shooter game lovers are probably shivering your timbers right now. In this game, team up with 4 other people to create a fire team. Then work with other fire teams in your team to take out enemies and take their objectives. Unlike any other tactical shooter game, you will have a very hard time distinguishing which one is your enemy or which one is your teammate. Because some of the uniforms are so identical to each other, you don't even know if that's an enemy or not. No sir, that's not the hardest part of the game. Just wait till it's nighttime, you won't be able to see a thing. This game will make your heart sink so far down that your testicles will be replaced by it. Your intestines will be in so much trouble because you would want to rip it out and hang yourself with it due to being sniped by Muhammad 20 times in a row. This is my perfect tactical shooter game and I rank it 10 out of 10. Now let's roll into the next game. This game is also relatively new, and it is Multicrew Tank Combat 4. Have you ever thought to yourself, oh, what if Russia replaced their tank crews with me and my friends? Well, I have. And this is the perfect game for you, if you have as well. The title of the game already explains the game itself. So, basically, you hop on a tank with your friends, and you operate it. That's pretty much it. Blow everything you see. Tanks, mobiles, people. Just have a jolly great time being as destructive as possible. Because as far as I know, this is the best tank game on Roblox. 5 out of 5. Next up is a World War II version of Horizon Blue. Not really, but yeah, it's kinda similar. Frontline Karelia. Sir, the snow started speaking Finnish is a famous quote about the Winter War, and is exactly where you are at right now. This is a capture the point game wherein you have a limited amount of lives. It is a pretty cool game, but I'm afraid to say that this game's fucking historically inaccurate, and that historical inaccuracy is why the hell do the Russians not have infinite lives? The weapons in the game is pretty good, but too often do I see the Soviets running out of lives? Man, that's bullshit. What happened to numerical supremacy, eh? But yeah, seriously, the weapons in this game, the uniforms, the maps, the fast-paced game mode, man, this game really is very nice. That's why I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 as well. But actually no, a 9.5 out of 10.
Why don't we have infinite lives, huh? Why don't we have infinite...
Alright, this is gonna be my last game, and before we move on to the last game, comment down below if you play any of these games in the list, and let me know which one's your favorite. And without further ado, the last one on the list, General Quarters. In this game, you and your teammates will protect your fleet from the enemies that are coming from the sky or from the sea. Oh, and by the way, there's another game mode in this game wherein you protect the bomber fleet instead of a naval fleet. There are multiple waves in this game, and each wave being harder and harder than the last one. Become a team player and extinguish fires and repair your ship, unless you want your ship to sink at the bottom of the ocean. Oh, and also it's the same for the bomber game mode, so don't forget to repair your stuff. See how long you can last, and anyways, I'll rate this game a 10 out of 10 as well.